Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Katamari Forever. It's been a while since we've been to the Cousins page, so let's head over there and gauge our progress. As you can see, we've gotten a lot of the Cousins recruited, but we still have a handful of them left to go. So let's keep our eyes open for those as we go on to the next stage. I'm going to be taking Drive this time, which should tip you off to the fact that I'm expecting to game over soon. Yes, we're heading to what I consider to be the most difficult stage in this game. It's right here in the King's Cosmos, and it is hot stuff. Roll up hot things to make Mars. So yeah, we've got two cousins and two royal presents here. No time limit on this one, so no shooting star, but we're going to have a lot of difficulties other than time running out while we're here. King says that he's almost up to 787%. What a regal number, very befitting of him. Much better than the 100% you might expect from a simpleton. Now, let's head over to the hot stuff stage. So, here on the hot stuff stage, we're going to be trying to get a Katamari up to a certain temperature. Yeah, we've seen a lot of different units of measurement to gauge the goodness of our various Katamaris, each with their own unique goals. But the goal of the Mars planet is going to be the hottest thing that we can get. Specifically, we have a goal of 10,000 degrees Celsius, of course. And we have as much time as we need to do that, but there is a challenge, and the challenge is that each cold thing we obtain is going to lower our Katamari's temperature. So, if our temperature drops to 0, that's the end of the stage, and we're going to head over to the Game Over minigame that Drive so excels at, but I'm going to be hoping to see as little of that as possible. So, we're going to be getting hot things and avoiding cold things, and luckily they tend to be bunched together. So right here you can see we have a bunch of hot sauces, and so I'm going to get all of those hot sauces that I can because hot sauces are hot. But right to my left there, beyond the hot sauces, you see a bunch of ice cream, and ice cream is cold. So the stage really comes down to observing individual objects in order to identify which regions of the stage contain hot things and which regions of the stage contain cold things. And this is made much more difficult by the fact that we're in the King's Cosmos, which is in black and white, which makes it harder to identify what specific objects are. Furthermore, as you may have noticed, our temperature is constantly ticking down at a fairly slow rate. Generally, that's not what's going to get you, though it is a nuisance. And finally, our temperature will be lowered if we ever enter water. Once you're in water, the natural rate of the temperature decreasing accelerates rapidly, and spending even just like 2 seconds or so in water tends to be pretty fatal. So we're going to avoid doing that if at all possible. As you can see, by reaching a certain size, we've unlocked the ability to go outside, 50 centimeters in fact. And though that size isn't displayed anywhere, it's really important here, as it is on all stages, because we're always going to be trying to roll up larger and larger things. We're eventually going to run out of small hot things and have to move on to large hot things. So keeping in mind our size is important. I'm hopping up here where there's a lot of cold things because there's also a royal present there. So let's get that and move along. Unfortunately, if I get a game over, I'm going to have to re-obtain any cousins and presents I obtained the last time, since you only get to keep those things if you actually complete the stage. And it's not just cousins and presents that's true of, it applies to the collection as well. So even though the cow bear is the most difficult item to obtain in this game, in my opinion, there's actually an item in this stage which is the hardest item to add to your collection, which is a different thing entirely. And the reason for that is that once you're able to obtain that object, you've basically had to use up all of the hot things on the stage simply getting to the requisite size, so that there are no hot things left to actually raise your temperature up to 10,000 centimeters. And I hit the broken heart, and that's game. So yeah, the broken heart, like on a lot of these stages, is quite fatal here since it's surrounded by cold objects. Actually, if the first thing you do is make a beeline to the broken heart, you usually won't game over, because you'll only be large enough to pull in the things in the immediate vicinity of it. So technically you can get that royal heart and survive, or that broken heart rather, but it's not really practical. Okay, so I have legitimately failed, so let's move along to the game over screen here. Yes, filling the sky with blackness. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive over here to the left, and I'm going to park him right here. There's really no finesse to this trick at all whatsoever. All there is to it is go as far left as you can, and then let go of the controller. And I did happen to get hit by something there. You're not entirely invulnerable when you're in this state, but it does make things a lot easier than actually playing the minigame. And I think it's rather unfortunate that this exists, because it kind of undermines every high score you've gotten up until that point once you discover the existence of this trick. But here it is, so let's see how long we can survive just by parking drive right there. So it turns out that I got a pretty unlucky pattern because drive didn't survive very long at all. Anyway, maybe I'll do better next time, and hopefully I'll do better at the stage this time as well. So, let's see if I can, this time, reach 10,000 Celsius. And while doing so, I'm going to have to re-obtain that royal present, so let's not forget about that. Is drive feeling the heat? Yes, indeed. Okay, so the first thing we're going to roll up are these onigiri, which are not hot themselves, but they're not cold either. So there are some neutral things on this stage, which are perfectly fine to obtain because we are trying to increase our size in order to get to the larger hot things, and just to be able to get outside, because we're going to have to reach 50 centimeters in order to do that. Picking up the hot sauces here while avoiding the ice cream, as I described last time. And, alright, it's a good idea to hit this. I guess I did it coming here, right? If you hit this microwave, some toast flies out. Oh, here it is. Or I guess it's not toast, it's gratin, but whatever. So, yeah, something to always keep in mind is that hitting certain objects, colliding with certain objects, will cause other objects to appear. So heading over this way now, I basically have my route more or less figured out. I didn't practice this stage much beforehand. I did make sure I was able to complete it once and that I hadn't completely forgotten. But I do remember that I eventually had this down to a science. But it's a lot less fun seeing me succeed than it is seeing me struggle a little bit. So I didn't want to, become an expert at it. That's something I've never strived to be in my videos. I think it's a lot more entertaining having a more casual perspective on things. Anyway, already up to 50 centimeters, which means I can go outside, and I'm actually hotter than I was last time I reached 50 centimeters, I believe. But we're not heading outside just yet, because there are two things we need to get in here first. The broken heart is not one of them, but this royal present is, so let's hop over there. Oh yeah, this is a stage that is made much more difficult, as I'm sure you can imagine, by playing on Katamari Classic mode. It's one that's made significantly easier by the existence of the Prince Hop. Alright, so there's Miso, the cousin, and I'm going to try to get her and get out without getting those cold things, and I failed, so let's just get out of here. Let's just get out of here. Oh no, I can't escape. I'm stuck. Get out. Okay. Okay, that could have been a lot worse. So I managed to get Miso, who is my favorite cousin in this game. I'll probably be playing as her soon enough. Miso, also my favorite soup, by the way. Gonna pick up some yarn here, which is neutral rather than hot, but still nice to have. And I think now I can safely head outside and start rolling up the things there in the larger world. The outside much larger than the inside. This particular area over here is not very useful. Almost everything here is cold, but there's a giant soup there. I don't think I usually get that giant soup. It's in kind of an awkward place to get to once you're large enough to actually obtain it. But there's this, where's this? Yeah, look at that troll snowman back there looking at me with that tilted eyebrow. He's out to get me, I know it. Okay, so picking up hot things. Alright, what have I got? Just basically, there's really not a whole lot to this. It's really difficult, but I'm not sure that there's all that much technique to it. It's just a matter of identifying which things are hot and which things are cold, and not getting the cold things. And eventually, by playing the stage a few times, you figure out where the safe places to go are, and you just only go to those places. Because the cold things are generally bunched together. There aren't a lot of gitches. Like the shopping stage was full of gitches. Like there were gold bars hidden under things, there were diamond rings hidden in things, and like I did not trust that stage. This stage is stupidly difficult, but I trust it. Like it's straightforward and honest about what's going on here. You're not going to get yourself into much trouble accidentally. You're going to see it coming. Anyway, I got the second royal present, which is just kind of sitting around. That's another nice thing. The royal presents here aren't terribly well hidden. I think that they understand that you're going to have to play this stage multiple times just in order to complete it, so they don't make you come back here too many times to find the cousins and royal presents. But I am going to have to come back to get the second cousin because I accidentally completed the stage there, reaching 10,000 centimeters, and I did so in a mere 3 minutes 37 seconds, which I think is not the worst time. Royal Rainbow! Though if I had to guess, I would say that about 1 minute 50 seconds, 2 minutes, somewhere in that range is probably close to the optimal score, but I was taking it a little bit easy, not taking a lot of risks that time, so it's understandable that I would have a significantly higher time than that. But still, nonetheless, if you're playing it even safer than I did, and if you're like not quite as familiar with this stage, it can easily take 5, 6, 7 minutes even. And of course, if you drag on for that long, you definitely get in danger of running out of objects that are hot, and the stage becomes incompletable. So time is an issue. I guess if you lollygag too much, then your temperature is going to drop to the point that you won't be able to recover. But that's not something that typically happens. Like I said, most game overs on this stage occur because you run into cold things, you get pushed into water and linger there for too long. Is the heat from food things or Japanese dishes? Those are both food things, and they're both hot. 76 points, actually a pretty reasonable score. It's certainly possible to complete this stage with a much worse score than that, because the score is, as far as I can tell, determined by your time. And like I was saying, you can take your time or you can go fast, whatever. So here's our first royal present. Guess what it is? It's actually a lollipop, but it's hard to tell given that it's drive themed at the moment. Also, there's another royal present. I'm actually not sure what that is. Looks like something a showgirl would wear. And here's Miso. Welcome aboard, Miso. So now, let's make the star turn. What is this new Mars going to be? The starving Mars. Okay, well, let's see if I can do a little bit better next time around. But first, we have a cutscene. It's not a Queen's Diary, it's actually an advancement of the plot, believe it or not, and it's going to lead right into our next stage. Really great music in that cutscene. I think that's the only place you ever hear that music. And as you can see, there's not a light on the Robo King's Cosmos. For the first time ever, a King's Cosmos stage is followed up by another King's Cosmos stage. So let's see what's in store next time. I'm still gonna head back to hot stuff, but let's look at this. Wake up the king. Look at all that stuff. 6 cousins, 5 presents. I don't even want to think about it. Let's do hot stuff again. Okay, I'm outside. Things are coming along pretty well at this point. A little over halfway to our goal, and I've got a fairly large Katamari on my hands. I rolled around in the building a little bit more than I needed to before heading out, so I think I'm a reasonable size for where I am. But these firefighters are kicking me into ice. How unkind of them. I guess that kind of makes sense that they are firefighters. They want to extinguish the flaming Katamari. Though, what they don't realize is that it's not a flaming Katamari. This is not the campfire stage. It's merely a hot Katamari. But anyway, I'm over here. So you have to cross this river in order to get over to this side of the stage. And the river is an extremely dangerous place because water is so hazardous to this Katamari. And there are those people, as you can see, running around here. A lot of stuff just moving around on this area of the stage. And all of it's sort of designed to push you into the water. And that's basically the worst thing that can happen to you. So you have to look out for obstacles like this. What is that? Is that a cardboard box robot? That's what it looks like, powered by some kind of furnace. Alright, anyway, there's another broken heart. This one's the lasting variety, I think, but it's just as deadly as the other one, so I'm going to hop over that. And this stack of things here is hot at the bottom and cold at the top, so it's really nice to be able to roll into it and get a lot of heat at once, but then it's time to get out. Okay, there's a lot of moving stuff over here. This is one of the more dangerous parts of the stage, but also here is Lalala. I'm sorry, Lalala. not Lala. Lala is a Gundam character. Lalala is a Katamari character. Okay, and I'm just short of the goal, so let's see if I can top this off, get up to 10,000. It seems I'm picking up more cold things than hot things over in this area, but let's see if I can't just finish off this Katamari and get the hell out of here, because this stage stresses me out. Let's get hot things, pick up fires. Fires are very hot. Actually, okay, I know where there are hot things. Let's jump over here onto the bridge and then roll this way, because there's an untapped region of all hot things right over here, including some giant meats. So there we go. Just over 10,000 Celsius, and I did it a little bit faster than last time, even getting the out-of-the-way cousin Lalala, so very nice. Should be getting a better score this time. Let's see how we did. Royal Rainbow! For the second time this episode. So yeah, hot stuff stage. A lot of fun, but really, really challenging. I would not expect, if you've never played this game before, to be able to complete this stage at all your first several tries. It's a really frustrating uphill process, and it's even more frustrating in Katamari Classic. So, what did I get the most? Food, cooking, and snacks. No Japanese food this time around. Just short of 700 objects in total. What's the score going to be? 74 points. I think we had a 73 last time, so an improvement of 1 point for our, like, 7 seconds that we shaved off there. And there's Lalala, our new cousin, come to hang out. So, let's make a star. Specifically, let's make the Hungry Mars. Wait, we did worse last time? Oh, okay. I thought I did 7 seconds better, but I actually did slightly worse. I was misreading the display there. So we're not going to be making a new Mars. We're going to be making Stardust. We're going to stick with the starving Mars that we have. And that's going to be all for this time. So thanks a lot for watching, and check back next time when I'm going to be waking up the king.